Hey everyone, what's going on? On January 15th, one of the big stories in the mainstream media was that Theresa May's Brexit deal got crushed by the British lawmakers. And if you're new to this channel, what I talk about is gematria and signs and symbolism and patterns that exist within our mainstream media, our sports leagues, our told history. And it all stems back to ancient knowledge such as Hermeticism and astrology and also Kabbalah, which is Jewish mysticism that within Kabbalah has a belief that God created the world by merging the letter with the number. And there's a system called gematria or gematria that codes letters within the numbers. For example, you know, if you write out the word Republican, it equals 47 in the reduced way. And if you write out Democrat, it equals 47 in the reverse reduced way. And if you write out White House also equals 47 in reverse. And if you write out President equals 47 the frontwards way. And if you write out government, I spell it right there, government equals 47. And, there's many, many other examples. There's a frontwards way and a reverse way, and that's because, it stems back to God creating the world by merging the letter with the number. And notice God in reverse is 55 and 10. And if you write out Satan equals 55 the frontwards way, and 10 the frontwards way. And within Kabbalah, there's the 10 Sephirots on the Tree of Life. That's how you understand God. And, there's 10 of them. Marilyn Manson has a song called Say 10. And he says, you say God, and I say 10, like the number. It's because he understands this knowledge. He uses Kabbalistic terms within his albums. And Hermeticism, an ancient piece of knowledge, has a belief that everything is the same and everything is also the opposite. So just wanted to give you a little hint of what gematria is, and let's go back and look at the story about Theresa May. So the story, it came out on January 15th, which is interesting because in gematria, if you read out Theresa May, she just so happens to equal 115, a lot like that date, January 15th. And what's even more significant, there's another cipher called satanic gematria. And think about it. If you write out satanic gematria within satanic gematria, it equals 666. I mean, just think about that. Satanic gematria equals 666 in satanic gematria. And it is definitely a relevant cipher. It's something I've followed a lot. Rocky Colavito, a player who was cursed the Cleveland Indians by getting traded to the Detroit Tigers. Rocky Colavito equals 624, and he got traded to the Detroit Tigers and equals 624. The guy that he got traded for was Harvey Keene, who died on February 28th of 1988. And that was interesting in 2016 because I thought the Indians would play the Cubs in the World Series, and then they later did. But the Cubs had picked up Aroldis Chapman, who equals 624, and it was synced up to the Indians. His birthday just so happened to be the same day that the Harvey Keene had died in 1988. So there's a definite connection here. And the reason that it's so significant to what is going on with this story is because this story just so happens to come 6 months and 23 days after the date of 6/23, and it's all about, England or the UK leaving the EU. And the EU is the European Union that equals 623. So, Brexit is all about the UK leaving the European Union, and the vote was on 6/23. Even if you read out Prime Minister, which Theresa May is, Prime Minister equals 6/23. And there was a whole bunch of stuff in regards to the prime minister, even, you know, David Cameron had quit, so then they had to get a new prime minister. Remember, they talked up the guy Boris Johnson, who looked just like Donald Trump, and then Donald Trump went on to win the election 138 days later. And look what Donald Trump equals in gematria, 138, and he won the election 138 days after Brexit. David Cameron was the prime minister who retired. Look at David Cameron's name in gematria, 109. When you look up David Cameron, his birthday just so happens to be October 9th. A lot like 109, 10/9. His name equals 109. And Brexit just so happened to happen 109 days before his birthday. You know, it's all by the numbers. It's all by this specific code. So back to this story about Theresa May and her thing getting crushed by the British lawmakers. It was also 206 days. So 6 months, 23 days, but also 206 days. If you write out Theresa May's full name, which is Theresa Mary May, it equals 206 as well. So, you know, it's 206 days after the anniversary of Brexit. Theresa Mary May equals 206. Her name also equaled 73, if you saw that, and this story came 73 days before the UK is actually leaving the EU because of this vote. So her name's 73, the story's 73 days before her birthday. Britain equals 73. It was also, I just pointed out some other things in regards to this. So they're going to leave the EU on March 29th, which is 6 months and 2 days before Theresa May's birthday. And her birthday's on 10/1, a lot like 101, which is the 26th prime number, the reflection of 62. The word queen in gematria equals 26 and also 62. That's why Queen Elizabeth became the queen on the date of 2/6, and her coronation was on 6/2, and she was born in the year 1926, and just after she became the queen, she turned 26 years old in 1952. So, just interesting. It's 6 months and 2 days before Theresa May's birthday. And the day that we got the story, January 15th, was also 62 days after Prince Charles's birthday, who would become the king if Queen Elizabeth were to die. So, just interesting. The word parliament equals 62. 329 is the 88th day of the year. Elizabeth in gematria equals 88. Purple equals 88, the color of royalty. Remember how Prince the singer died on Queen Elizabeth's birthday in 2016 as well? Prince the singer, and then they made Niagara Falls purple, and they said it's not for Prince's death, it's for Queen Elizabeth. And Prince's ex-girlfriend, named Vanity, had died just earlier in that year before Prince died, and she was from Niagara Falls. What are the odds? And the reason that I bring that up is because Prince also had that song called I Would Die, and the number 4 and the letter U. And U is the 21st letter of the alphabet. So he said, I would die 4/21, and then he just so happened to die on April 21st, 4/21, which was Queen Elizabeth's birthday. Once again, just showing the significance of gematria and how it is used within the deaths of celebrities, our told history, our sports leagues, what's going on in the mainstream media, what's going on in the government. It's always with this code. So we'll end the video there. One last thing I want to just point out is that 6/23 is the 174th day of the year. And if you write out New World Order, it equals 174. Also, if you write out NWO, it equals 174. And it just makes me wonder in regards to all of this stuff. And, Donald Trump is all about the stock market crash. He's synced up to Herbert Hoover. That's why we have the kneeling during the national anthem. It's because it's synced up to the stock market crash. And Herbert Hoover, H is the eighth letter, 88, was the one who signed the Star Spangled Banner into Congress in 1931 as the official national anthem. The word kneel equals 88, the Star Spangled Banner equals 88, Colin Kaepernick equals 88. That's why the Super Bowl last year was at U.S. Bank Stadium, and it was in the 88th anniversary of the stock market crash. And then we have, I don't know, it's just interesting thinking about all this. The UK leaving the European Union, possibly you know, they're building it up for some type of new world order. There's already a world order that exists, but, they're just going to make a new one. So we'll leave the video there. Just, once again, wanted to make a quick video. Hopefully it makes sense. Please learn to apply this for yourself. Every single day, the media is coded with this system. It's just so easy to see once you understand how to apply this system, and it's not even that hard to do. Look at these people's birthdays, look at the day that these stories come out, how it syncs up to their birthday, what their name is in gematria, and you're never going to be disappointed. It never fails. If we get enough people to understand that this is going on, then we can get enough people to quit paying attention and putting, their energy into what is going on in the media or what is going on in history, and just quit paying attention to these things that they're programming our minds with, and we don't have to apply by these rules that they're using to rule over us, if that makes sense. Or maybe we just have to get enough people to learn the system so we can learn how to use it in a positive way and not be ruled over and not be in constant fear and what the media does to us. So, more people, more minds. That's the only way we're going to figure this out. So, have a good one. Peace.